Anyway, I've been joined in the studio by the man who dreamt up the Little Red Book of Corbyn jokes, Jason Sinclair, and by the comedian Grainne Maguire, who supports Jeremy Corbyn. Welcome to both of you. You were laughing all the way through. She liked all your jokes.
Well, that's good.
How difficult was it to put it together, to find enough jokes to fill this Little Red Book?
Well, we tend to write a joke whenever something catastrophic happens in the Labour Party, so...
What are you trying to say?
Well, it can sometimes
you
be
had
every
a flood
couple
of
of hours.
material.
Yeah, there was a lot of material
What's
to go
your
through.
all-time favourite Jeremy Corbyn joke?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I mean, one of the quick, easy ones is, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Neoliberalism.
Do you find those jokes genuinely funny, or are you laughing out of sympathy?
I love Corbyn jokes is one of my... It gives me life. I just love them so much. It's so... because it's so accurate. And I just think it's so important. The left gets accused of, like, being sanctimonious, taking themselves too seriously. I think it's really important that you poke fun of that and we're aware of it and we can laugh at ourselves.
Right.
It's so funny.
Ah, and so have you got one of these books?
No, but fingers crossed today I'm going to get one.
Depending on what Grainne says.
Yeah.
What about any topical jokes from the conference?
I'm not saying my mother-in-law hates me, but because that's not what Seamus wrote on the auto cue. So
That was topical, following on from Clive Lewis.
can we do some sort of interaction? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Owen Smith.
Owen Smith who?
Exactly.
No, you see, you didn't laugh there. You obviously thought that was sad. Is that a bit cruel?
Well, there's certain cruelty to humour, isn't there?
Well, what is it about Jeremy Corbyn, though, that lends him to a book on jokes, or to humour at all?
It's because he comes across as so humorless and earnest. So, therefore, it's interesting, it's funny to see what it could be like if he was telling a joke. How would you think that Jeremy Corbyn would be if he told a joke? Would he be as good as your reporter?
Well, I don't know. The bar's low there with Adam Fleming. I think it was the delivery that slightly ruined it. Grainne, do you agree with that about Jeremy Corbyn?
I don't think he's humorless. I think he just comes across as just so earnest and so, like, well-intentioned that he would try to be funny, but he would just end up with a lot of facts about the Irish potato famine. I think that's what...
The Irish potato. Yeah. But you're a Corbyn supporter.
I do. I do support Jeremy and the Labour Party in all its wonderful facets. But, like, I do stand-up comedy and you know, it's important to poke fun at Jeremy.
And do you poke fun? I mean, is he a good source of material?
Yeah, I just think it's so funny that they say that he's got a problem with women, yet he's been married 3 times and his ex-girlfriend is in the shadow cabinet. If anything, he gets on too well with women, if you ask me.
Yes, you could look at it from that perspective. Others might disagree.
Yeah, well, did his ex-wife vote for him? I mean, I don't know if anyone's ex-wife would vote for them, to be fair, if they were... I'm surprised she voted once for him, didn't they? But she's... Well,
she did an interview, didn't she, just before the result this time, saying she wasn't supporting them,
yes,
as you quite rightly said. What's the response been to this book?
Mixed, I think, on
Very diplomatic, yeah.
The Labour Party mixed on
well, it's
divided?
If you look at the Amazon page, there's, I think, 12 5-star reviews and 12 1-star reviews, so that sort of is a nice reflection of the Labour Party today.
I think the Labour Party's got the similar...
Yeah, exactly.
On Amazon as well.
Really? What about Corbyn now with his renewed mandate? Are there jokes now that you will be able to make? He's leader for the second time round, or following the second leadership contest. What will you do? Well,
I just think Labour itself is like a very dysfunctional, crazy family with lots of very strong personalities. Like, personally, I love sort of the newer intake who are more to the right of the party, who, whenever there's a disaster, are so happy to give interviews being like, oh, we're obviously more in sadness than in anger, but, like, where's my light? Where's my light? I find those people really, really funny.
Well, the one thing I must say before I let you go is that one Amazon review of your book says, this is not raisins. Just a head up to anyone else assuming from the image that this is a box of sun-made raisins. You remember the boxes of sun-made raisins? They're still around. So don't find out the hard way like I had to. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's true. It's not as tasty as raisins, but it might be funnier.
How many jokes are in here, by the way, altogether?
There's...
it's quite big writing. You haven't got many jokes on a page, have you?
There's jokes, but there's long jokes as well, and introductory essays and sort of parodies and pastiches as well. It's not just the jokes from the Twitter account.
All right. Well, I can't think of one to say at the end of our section here, but thank you both very much for coming on to the programme.